My name is Thorsten. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Freeze Carbon. We're based here in Frankfurt. And as many solutions you heard today and many topics, we are in the carbon space around carbon projects. Let's start with a quick reminder why this topic is so important. What you see here is the greenhouse gas level across different gases. We already hit through the 1.5 degrees barrier a long time ago. This is actually 2021. And this line is just growing and growing. So it's not a question whether we'll get to 1.5 or not. It's a question how fast will we go to 2 degrees, or can we slow it down or even stop? To do so, we need to do two things. We need to, of course, avoid that more emissions go up, but also we need to remove as much as possible. And how much do we need to remove? The World Economic Forum says we need to remove 10 gigatons by 2050 on an annual basis. Today, we are very, very far from this. So there's a lot more needed and action needed in the market. And we heard a lot about the theme today is not just strategies, but action. So here's a little bit of an action plan that you've seen many times over in different shapes and colors. First, of course, we track our emissions. Second, we start with reduction. And as a third piece of the puzzle is we invest in the carbon projects which avoid and remove emissions to ultimately reach net zero, of course, on a global scale. How does Freeze Carbon come in here? Oh, sorry, maybe exactly, there's a new page. So yes, we need to do all of this, but how does it actually create revenue or avoid cost? And I want to do a little bit on the business case and talk about the ROI of carbon projects. On the left side, we have cost considerations. On the previous slide, I showed you we need 10 gigatons and we don't have anything in the market today. So the longer we wait, the higher the cost will be. So acting right now actually ensures that you can secure very affordable deals. There was a very big deal. Amazon bought direct air capture for 100 euros per ton. This is only possible right now because the projects are in the build-up phase and give out these prices that are sometimes below cost to start building. The second, of course, on the cost side is becoming an expert in something that is coming up and is on the horizon. You have to do anyways. So getting into the market early gives you a benefit of trying this out, running a few pilots before you have to do it on a very large scale. On the revenue side, this really needs to be assessed business by business, but here are some general points. How you can go and build a business case for carbon projects is being a preferred supplier, and we talked about suppliers a lot. It's not just the big guys asking for information to come from suppliers, but it's also, in the second step, then, of course, improving your footprint. This can also be capital. It can be for investors, or it can be for banks, that the company is now a preferred investment because it's more sustainable, because it reached net zero faster than anyone else in the same peer group. And this one, the last one, is actually talent. So this one is something that SBTI mentioned in a study just 1 year ago. They asked 200 companies, and they said actually talent is the most commonly quoted reason why companies are going into the market right now, because the young generation, the very talented people, they want to work at a company that drives impact, that has sustainability on the agenda. And this is one way to win that talent. Now, how does Freeze Carbon come in here? So quick summary, our most senior expert has been actually in the carbon market for over 7 years now, developing carbon projects on the ground internationally. This is where we have our expertise. We're extremely fast in sourcing new projects. We get into the market and find, for example, a lot of projects in Germany, which are currently very high in demand. So therefore, getting you the access to these carbon project developers. And the last one is our philosophy. We're very translucent, give you the full view into the project. How is every euro that you invest and pay for a carbon credit actually used on the ground? We also don't have a hidden markup or hidden margin. We completely transparently tell you how much money we make on every single transaction. So what's the benefit for you? It's, of course, deep quality analysis that we perform in every single project. I'll show you in a second how we do this, because it's very important. A custom strategy for negative emissions. So may it be that you quickly want to buy spot credits on the market, or you want to build this out for, let's say, your 2030 net zero target. And 2030 sounds like we go there and we reach the goal, but no, you actually have to be net zero in 2031, 32, 33, and every single year afterwards. So we help you build that strategy. And then, of course, ensure that everything is done very cost effective. We have a portfolio of different projects so you can manage your individual budget. Very important. Everything we do is independent. We're not developing our own projects. We are not buying anything on our own book, but we're just matchmaking you between the corporates to the project developer. The quality process, because it's so important in our market, there has been a lot in the negative press recently in the recent years. So how do we go about it? First, we do a pre-assessment. We assess all carbon project standards out there, and we assess all project categories in general. If we find something good in an intersection, so good standard and good project type, we then, in a second step, analyze all the projects in that intersection. And if the project still looks very good, we go into our third step and do our project level due diligence, where we go very deep and analyze the project in depth. We write, I used to be a consultant, we write a due diligence report, several pages PDF, so you can really follow the details of each individual project. And on our track record, 16% of projects that we thought from the outside actually looked good, only 16% made it to our platform. So we actually decline 84% of projects, 84% of gold standard projects, 84% of other projects out there. Very conservative approach, but this is how we're doing it. Of course, we live in a tech world, so we build a portal. So on the left side, you see a screen where you can browse through different projects. You can add filters. I want to have something in specific countries or of a specific project type or permanence, 1,000 years or longer. And then you can dive deeper into the project, understand everything that is behind it. You can download reports. And once you've picked a few projects, you can optimize your budget. So we have a budget optimization tool amongst the projects that you picked. As a last step, of course, you receive all the CSRD data as a download, so you have everything for that CSRD report as well. Behind the scenes, here's our team. We're now 8 colleagues. We're based here in Frankfurt, so very close by. And we are coming from different practices. So we have our commercial team, our tech team, and our quality team. Maybe because quality is so important, we have here our expert from Atmosphere. This is a German NGO, having been in the market for many, many years now. We are predominantly working so far with German companies, either listed companies or private companies, typically in the financial space, but also in the business services space. So if you're interested in any of these kind of projects and learning more about the market, or actually want to engage with the carbon projects, let me know. Happy to talk to you afterwards. Thank you very much.